G'day chaps, now as you know I cover both Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, and even if I'm not playing them, I am watching what is going on with them. And today I noticed something that really caught my attention, and it's an interview with David Braben, the guy behind Elite Dangerous, you could say, on PC Gamer. And it's a couple of quotes really that stuck out for me. I'm going to read some of the quotes. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said. I'll also post a link to the article in the description so you can read it for yourself. Yes, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on it. I'll try and keep this fairly brief. Now, the thing that really got my attention, and I'm going to quote directly here, is when Braben said this. What we see from play patterns is that many do the same thing over and over. In that cycle, they just don't get to see some of the variation. I'm not blaming players. We got it wrong. Now, that strikes me as quite an impressive thing to admit fault on something like this. It's acknowledging something that a lot of people have been complaining about, myself included, for quite a long time, that there's just too much grind in the game. There's not enough variety. There's not enough to do. It's just not fun enough. It's not interesting enough at the moment. All the mechanics are there. It's a great space simulator. But is it a great game? Is it good fun? I'm not playing it. I'm playing other games at the moment. There's no reason to go in and grind. But I'm not going to... This is not a rant. So I'm going to continue. Braben also added that when he was playing the game himself, he wasn't seeing everything. So during his own playthroughs, and I quote directly here, he says, "I wasn't making friends with the minor factions. I was missing out on missions. And most players do that. It's a shame because the missions actually drive you around the galaxy, but if you keep going back to the same place, you won't venture very far. There are missions out there I know almost no players have seen, but we haven't communicated it properly. There's so much in there, and we need to change the way we communicate that." Now, does that really mean that they're likely to change the way missions are hidden behind rankings, or the fact that we need to grind through repetitious tasks to get up to those rankings? I mean, I am going to remain pretty skeptical on this one, but we'll see. There's also the fact that, he talks about exploring the galaxy. There is no reason to explore the galaxy because it's all the same. There's nothing else to do in the galaxy. But anyway, on to what he says next, and this is on power play. A direct quote again. "There are lots of things wrong with the powers. We're close, but the details stop it from being great. But we can improve it, and we will improve it." End quotes. Now that's very vague, but it's encouraging. Again, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Finally, he goes on to talk about planetary landings that were obviously introduced in Horizons. As we all know, these are very impressive, but there really isn't anything to do in Horizons. And even though I bought the beta, and I wanted to really make a Let's Play series for you guys, I didn't, because there was nothing to do. I found it pretty boring. So again, I'm going to quote him directly here. He says, "We want to add more interesting stuff and give players more to do. With regards to looting and crafting, one of the great things about planets is that anything floating in space tends to end up on the surface. So there'll be wreckage to scavenge and things like that." Now again, for me, this is very vague, and it's simply, I believe, adding more salvage on planets won't really improve the game at all. But at least it's good to see that its faults are being admitted and there's a commitment to improvements. I, for one, personally, am going to continue to wait and watch while I play other games. As I've said, I'm fairly skeptical. I think they've got some pretty fundamental issues they're going to need to deal with. Just variety. They really need to add some more variety, especially to the kind of missions you can do and the things you can go and find, and they just need to add that fun factor in. It would also be nice to see a better action and reward system. You have to grind very, 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 very a long time to upgrade to a ship or make any more money, and then with that money all you can do is buy more ships. You can't invest, you can't... Anyway, that's some of my personal likes. I was a big fan of the X3 series because you got to build a big empire, but that's just me. I like to own things. Anyway, boys, thank you very much for watching. This has just been a really brief one, and yes, I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.